If you want to sit at the table, pull up a chair. Welcome to Let's Bring It to the Table, where we talk about how to enhance our lives by addressing issues that specifically impact our life. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Thank you for showing up, Logan and our Lois. How y'all doing today?
Great, awesome.
Whew, every day gets better and better.
Okay. Well, today's topic is called Get Off My Back. And it's a discussion about the Black Panther. It's a two-part. If we get to the second part, good. If we don't, good. So let's start. So what do y'all think about the movie overall?
It's even at the movie. Go ahead, Alois.
The movie to me brought a lot of it's about a lot of our history out, about a lot of leadership, and us as one, as united as one. And you'll see some up and down with one major, but the history he'll go back because he was very hurt. But when you enter it, it's all about coming together and make everything work. Even though we struggled through stuff that we went through, at the end we fight and we won. So it's all about connection with each other, have a conversation, and always work together as a team effort, and don't try to put nobody went through where they come from, how they went through in life. So you can't judge a book by its cover. So the movie was great. It was, like I said, it was very inspirational. Loyalty, a lot of loyalty now, and a lot of maybe a lot of misunderstanding, miscommunication. He didn't know that I'm not gonna tell the movie anyway. I love it, especially us being Black people. We have went through some challenges to up and down, still here.
Mm-hmm. Yep, I like that.
Okay, I like that. I enjoy that statement, Lois. The Black Panther, even that it's a cartoon base, it was still done in 2018. And this movie still reflect some of the issues we're dealing in today life, not just in America, across the world. And how that, as our Lois placed it in a shorter term, that we have resources that we need to use to unify our people. But in the movie shows that you have to be strong of what you bring. And even that you have two things, and it depends on how you actually look at the movie. You can go biblical, or you can go, I see Malcolm X and Martin Luther King in it. So I'm going to close there. That's my opening statement.
Okay. Well, let's get this party started then. If that's the opening statement. Okay, what about that? That first acting scene that you was talking about, we were discussing earlier.
Oh, that first acting scene. I want to have to go for the introduction first before I get to that scene.
Okay. I'm jumping.
I'm going to have to go back. I'm going to have to start there, because if without that scene, wouldn't have justified the end.
Okay, you're right.
A lot of people don't understand. A lot of people weren't paying a closer attention. The scene that in the first part where the Panther was there and they was bringing and telling the history of it, as one country was building up, you had another country tearing down and had to be struggling. There was going chaos. And a lot of things in life is birthed out of chaos.
Yeah.
Even when Kondo had chaos, but they came and unified together to be one. And in that story, he gave the story. It say why we came. And he say why, Father, why, Papa. Tells me, gives me a clue that he gave a clue that not to trust them. Now we can go in that first scene.
Who is them though? Who is them though?
The colonizers, the outsiders,
Yeah.
the ones outside of Wakanda,
Mm-hmm.
because they had a different way of living.
Right.
Yes.
Okay.
It's just a different way of living.
And we will be discussing that on the back end. So,
Right.
Okay. So let's go.
Okay. That first scene. Wow. I'm in the aircraft. I'm going to pick up someone, and the lady beside me say, my general say, don't freeze.
Mm-hmm.
And me being gonna be bold as a man, I said, I never freeze.
Your ego.
I gotta have that. And you see how if you look at her being a general of his army, if you know anything about military, and he state that, and so she was telling him in a simple way that she is your weakness. Don't freeze.
Mm-hmm.
Don't pause.
Mm-hmm.
He went down there, do his thing, and when he was doing that thing, and he froze
because she popped up.
When she popped up,
mm-hmm.
and the drug told you freeze.
Yeah, after she did what she had to do because he froze.
Because he froze.
Mm-hmm.
And that is funny. And when I seen that scene, and if you notice through the scene how he correlate and look at her,
mm-hmm.
it remind me, wow, of Kevin Gates' power. She got that power over me.
Petronella said, but she was ready and had his back. Yep, the general
Yes,
always
she
had
did.
his back.
Right. Yes, she.
But right. You know, when you let's dive just a little bit deep in that. But you know, some people when they said power, they thinking about what Kevin Gates' movie is about, that other stuff. But it wasn't really about that. It was about the relationship and how. And I think it was the way that they talked to each other, even with the general. The way that they talk, it was like always representative with respect. There was never anything else but respect.
Right. And you know, it's just like our saying at the end of the show, let's bring it to the table. Can you give a brief part of this, Sonya? When respect is served.
Respect is no longer served, leave the table. That's just the sum of it. Mm-hmm. Right.
And you will see that each other serve each other respect.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Regardless, because they had a close relationship, and his ex in Black Panther had even still his sister say his ex later on in the movie. But as you see them, how they look at each other on the airplane, how she comforted the she received or holding and everything.
But you know what? You missed that one little scene though. When after she said you messed up my mission or whatever, and he said, my daddy died. I need you to be by to be by my side. They're gonna put me in king. She didn't hesitate. It was and no matter how you said ex, that she was his ex, you know good and well that wasn't his ex. They just it was like trying to be together, but when you have somewhere in life to be or you got something to do, and he respected that she had something in her heart that she had to do. And I think that is so sweet that he respected enough and not try to fight. And because in today's time, this is what goes on. All across the time, you got women who sacrifice what their gifts and what they want and their needs because that's what they supposed to do when they get married. Well, that's what society try to tell you they're supposed to do. But nobody respect the fact that she has something to bring to the table in a manner that can probably build or give growth. And she never disrespected him for that. She understood. He understood.
Mm-hmm.
And so the sacrifice was the relationship in a sense, because it was bigger than the physical.
Right. They had two ways of going about. You know, his papa was getting old, and he's turned to Black Panther. I don't know. I'm gonna make this joke. It might have because he couldn't fit in the suit any longer. It was
Okay.
because it was a king, but he was recognized the Black Panther, and his father was still king.
Right.
And going further, as you saying that, my big sister, I said that for a reason, because she said an ex.
The sister.
Another person said what she said concerning about it, just like they co-mingle with each other. As you say, they was on two separate paths.
Yep.
She wanted him,
and he wanted
to
her.
be, and she wanted her, and it shows. It shows because when they got off the plane and greeted, and the girl went boom boom to go to the ceremony, their head turned, and he got a good look. And she had to look back, and it was a split eye contact there. So even in that split contact, you see the passion for each other. But the little sister said, "Your ex."
Yeah, she did.
Yeah.
And I think it was more of a tease because she knew they wanted to be together. So she played with him on it.
She played with him. Even I would do, as siblings, the relationship between siblings, there's going to be a lot of different relationships going on in the movie. I'm going to try my best to stay away from the leadership, because the leadership aspect, the relationship or leadership, as much as I can, because they're going to drag out even longer. In that relationship,
no time, ain't nobody worried about that.
Okie dokie. You will see that in that relationship between each other, how said she was stubborn, and she reversed that. That's why she will be a king, and he was about to grab it. See? But he recognized, and when they further in the conversation, she and him recognizing and respecting each other. They on two separate paths.
Right.
And this is a hint. Us in relationship that wants to be in a relationship with somebody, and you're in a leadership and power, even that she's a spy, you'll figure out a way. And that a way to get her to be co-mingled, to have her. Patriella said her mission as a spy is what we needed to get him in the place he had no knowledge of.
True.
That's true. And as she's there, she opened up a door for him to begin. He already seen that door. That's why I had to go back to the beginning, because he said, "Papa, why?" It gave him, he's trained one way, but she being out there as an international spy gave, in that brief moment, she seen the hardship, she seen the trauma of the people and the death, and want to bring help to them. The other people would bring a help, but it's not on a level that Wakanda can bring. in that little brief conversation between them. So, Lois, what are your thoughts concerning about his actions from him saving her, removing her from her journey of what she's supposed to be doing, what she as a spy
As a
to
spy,
come?
I mean, yeah, as a, he did what she wanted to do, and that's what I like about him. He was a leader. He was loyal. Had her interest at heart, so he let her do what she had to do. But at the end, close to the end, he told her that you might be interested. So he brought her on his side to help the people that was at the end. When it got close to the end of the thing, they came together as one. They were even powerful when they came united as one, because she did got to do what she wanted. He helped her to provide for her to do that what she needed to do to help people and be a better one to do. So I think with that character, he was a true leader. Really, I think he really loved her, and by him doing all the things that he knew what she wanted to do, become what she wanted to become. But at the end, they came together as one. Came together as one, and that's what you call strong love. I said, fine, that would never break apart. Nobody can break that. So he did what a man's supposed to do. That's what you call a man. He took control, but also she came in. They came as one, even though they were not married. They came as married.
They complement each other.
Yeah, they was. They didn't have nobody know was that the thing. They was at one. Nobody interfered in what they were talking to me. What happened? They came together as one. And I like that. That when you come to get better, I mean, they had a good, strong relationship, good communication too. And that's where it takes a lot of good communication and keep other people out your business. And that's what they did. And I like that.
Another thing, because a lot of times people at society and social media and the white people and their statistics and everything tell them how they supposed to be in a relationship. How about you get with the person you want to be with and y'all tell each other how y'all gonna build your relationship? Why are we gonna go on statistics and say, okay, they said that black women going with white men, so I'm gonna go with a white man? That sounds so dumb. But you got people doing it.
Yeah, and go ahead before I go. I'm trying not to go on a rant because she pushed a pink button.
They said be true to thyself. Be true to.
Well, I have a big problem that people, when you say keep other people out of your relationship, I have a big problem that if you, my partner, you can go to job, to your work, or anywhere else, and everybody can else tell you what to do. But I am your partner, and I got your best interest. I lead you in doing everything, maneuvering everything for you. And when it comes to you, I does the benefit for us. I asked you to get up at 5 o'clock in the morning with me, and that guy, where you go to work and do things, you don't complain, you don't say nothing. Where you at 5 o'clock? I don't even tell you when you can eat. They tell you when to eat, and you will do whatever they say. And even when their stuff is going wrong, you runs up in my face and tell me, well, my boss, who I am. I'm not your boss, but I'm supposed to be your partner, the one to talk. But every time I see you, you up in their face, smiling, giggling. Do you serve them? If they ask for something, you running. But if I ask for a breadcrumb, what's wrong with your hand? What's wrong with you walking to the kitchen? I work just like you work. But every time I turn around, I gotta cook, I gotta clean. But you'll do everything for them, but do very little for me.
That's not
you get. That's not a partnership. Right. So and plus, if you even working, you get a bonus, and they don't even give you a bonus. You get part of my paycheck.
Yeah.
But you'll give them everything they can, and I can't give a little respect. I'm like Rodney Dangerfield. Can I get a little respect?
But you know what, bro? I'm gonna say this, and you know, I always like to piss people off because one thing I do know, no matter what instructions or what revelation that comes, people are always triggered by what people say. So let's go on with it then. So with that even being said, when you said that, you said something there, because it's been a long time argument that I've heard in other places where people feel like their husband shouldn't be given the plate first. I think that's all wrong. Now, if he's going to be the provider, the protector, don't you think he need to be nourished? And they talking about, well, what if that was all y'all had and you didn't really have enough? Okay, I get it, but he gonna eat something. I need him to can't keep his strength in order to protect us if a apocalypse come up. You know, I'm not, even though I know I'm a good shot or whatever, but his job is what? If he say he's down with his family, he's going to be down with his family. Now, I know some guys that probably protect the kids, but because the wife being trifling and she always putting everybody else first, she might not make it. She just might not make it. You get what I'm saying?
Yes, I seen that.
That he is not first in your life. When the kids get grown and get gone, he all you got. And more men are walking away from marriages after the kids are gone.
Yeah.
Because the wife has all the whole time 18 years told him that he did not matter when he does.
Right. You know, I seen today a video concerning about she came home, and this is something else, ladies. Don't disrespect your man on social media, because this woman thought she had it. She got smart on social media. Her father-in-law asked her to clean up. In a house that her father-in-law, and her husband is building for a house for her to stay in. If you know anything about carpentry, you can't mess up no measurements or anything while you're doing that. And the cleanup job wasn't bad. And she went on social media, and they seen it. And she got on social media and said, I got them in a place and this won't happen. And came back, and she came back. They say, fine. They say fine to themselves, and they did it. Later on, when husband got home, after he got cleaned up, they had a talk. And that talk was about divorce. So he wanted a divorce. Somebody messed up.
But how many times has she done that, though, in public, disrespecting them because she done ran behind society and their thoughts?
Sometimes it just takes one time.
I think it probably was more than that one.
I think
she had an upper hand and could say whatever she want to say and do whatever she want to do.
That she want to prove herself that's like she ran the house. She the head. She the head of the household.
A woman can never be the head of a household when a man is living with her, especially if he's a man that's providing and protecting and doing everything that he can to provide the provisions for that household.
She didn't think that because she would be blasting him out on social media.
Right. So you can't do that. And through the movie, you could see them have disagreements.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You see disagreements, but all through the movie, you see each other respect.
True.
They knew how to talk to each other. They chose their words.
Right. And very
Yeah.
carefully. They chose their words at the same time. Even, and it show you something, even towards the end, when they were fighting with the girl and her love.
That was funny.
Yeah.
Her love said, you got 3 seconds surrender. I say to myself, were you really thinking that's supposed to be your love? And you gave her 3 seconds to surrender, or else the table turned.
Mm-hmm.
The rhino was coming to him, and you see the gorilla,
Yeah.
the leader of the gorilla tribe, came. She stepped in front of that rhino that was in full,
Mm-hmm.
Bronny.
and she smiled. And that look, when she gave, I said, I'm glad I ain't got to go home with him.
Mm-hmm.
That look, what did, and he said, will you kill me, my love? Without a doubt, for Recondo, they had 2 things.
Mm-hmm.
And we're going to go back to it, why he did that and why he was looking at it in that manner. But my love, she had duty and he had a duty. Her duty was the king.
Was to the throne.
To the king and the throne.
Mm-hmm.
And he let his selfish heart, because of 30 years, nothing happened how he wanted. Now I'm going back to the table, back to the scene, to the council scene. Each person in the council had their own agenda. He was part of that council.
Mm-hmm.
His what he wanted was him dead.
Yeah.
Who dead?
That what that
You
Claude.
talking about when yeah. You talking
He
about when
wanted him dead because he been waiting since he was a little boy to get some type of justice.
okay.
When that man brought him,
Mm-hmm.
he was all on his side because he got it. And he couldn't provide, and the king, T'Challa, failed at his test.
Yep.
He gave his word. He used the word swear. He swore to me. Otherwise, he broke his bondage. And he was lower to that him because of that. And you look at it, that's the reason he was lower to him. But at the same time, he had to make a choice. Do I fight my love in physical combat? Do I to end this after she say surrender? And she had to realize, remind him that guy was not the king. This is what is going through his mind. And they fighting, about to fight. He looked.
Because in the fight scene for when he challenged the king, when he challenged him, and he went out there and he started fighting, he knew there was a difference between himself and what his mission was, because he wanted them to hurt. And the other guy was driven on emotion and empathy. And that it shows strength, but it was his weakness, especially after he killed dude, that had always been by his dad's side.
Right.
When he killed him, his emotions couldn't be handled. It just overflowed.
Yes, it was an overflow. But if you know anything about tactics of fighting, one is trained off of comeback, 2 different styles of comebacks, 2 different leadership skills. A spear. Both of the spear started at the same length. When he broke the spear, that's close combat.
Yeah.
Where he was great of. Beginning to close, penetrate, and everything.
Mm-hmm.
Black Panther was managed things from a distance, hidden, and maneuver that way. So you have 2 different relationship styles. You have a guy that have been brought up in special forces, different special forces in the military. So he got a special design skill set.
Mm-hmm.
And they make him as a villain, a relationship of a villain. Go ahead, Alois.
I think the reason why he also did that was because he lost his parent. He lost his daddy. And he saw the who came in there and killed him. But he said he had all that anger in him. He said, I'm going to get him back. He was hurt. So he was angry. That's why he went through the stuff he went through. He went through come back, and he had that thing in his mouth. His daddy already explained to him what he came from.
Yeah, his daddy had already branded him with that.
Yeah.
Right. As a war dog.
So yeah, like the guy said, why did you his daddy? Why did you left the child?
Mm-hmm.
He could have bought that child with them. He didn't look at that point. He was looking at all about his child, but not his. And I thought they were kind of like messed up. And I see why he was hurting and real angry and want to get back. It was.
I feel like the father did not want to bring the child because he was a reminder of his brother he killed.
True. I think that too. But you got to put things aside. Think about the child. And that's what his son got mad about. You were wrong, Dad. He was wrong. But it is what it is.
He was mad at him, even when he was talking to his father. Yes, he was mad. And he said, all of y'all was wrong.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Because he was talking to his past, the past rulers, the past kings, the tribe leaders. All of y'all was wrong. But that was the manner to stay away from them because they have understand how they was. And that's but as time rolled on, if you look at it, his father got killed at the UN.
Yeah.
Therefore, he changed because they stayed hidden and didn't want to deal with nobody.
But that was before then. They was always hidden, but they thought Wakanda was a province. They didn't have no money. They were just, that's what they thought. And
right. And if you look at
the colonizer had other plans because he got a taste of what they had. He knew what they had.
Right.
And that's what colonizers do.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So if you look at it, that him at the UN, he changed his mind. He seen his wrong, how he was treating the outside world, because he wouldn't have had nothing to do with the UN. Mm-hmm. Wouldn't have nothing to do with the UN Council. Period. Because they would separate themselves. So over time have a manner of changing you in a manner. Yes, he as a leader in a leadership role, you're always making a hard decision. Mm-hmm. But one decision may be harder than the other. Mm-hmm. So you have to make a decision. To choose Wakanda what his throne about his throne and the people over his brother.
His blood.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Right. at the same time, his brother caused him to make a choice because you're about to kill an innocent man.
Mm-hmm.
So if you teaching that, if you believe in that, you teaching that to your child. Because if you notice what he was teaching his child, Black Panther father was teaching the ways of doing things.
Mm-hmm.
He didn't discuss. Maybe they had a discussion. Maybe he said, "Don't go," because that's with his father. But he had to respect his father of his decision to go to UN. But you notice at the end, he stepped right back in place in the UN Council where his father left out because his eye was lighting in it, seeing the issues and problems that was going. Go ahead.
I feel like that was a good thing that he stood with. I mean, he went to the UN and had the conversation and stuff. But at the very beginning, remember they said they had to keep the vibranium safe, and to go take you in and bring that up became detrimental for them. And if y'all don't believe what I'm saying, watch part 2 of Wakanda Forever, and you will see exactly how these people are. It was true to nature. They wanted that, and they were going to kill a nation for it.
That is true. And you'll see the interacting. We really don't want to go into another movie set. You can look at.
I'm just saying because
you're gonna have to go. You're gonna have. I know what you're saying. We're not gonna go into it, but if you look at the Black Panther, you'll see how they involved before Wakanda 2, part 2 of Black Panther. You'll see how they involved themselves with the other countries with Infinity War and the Civil War. If you like that, that's a side note to give a better understanding how they revolve over time, and you be better able to connect those movie sets together. Back to the Black Panther now.
Okay.
Even the relationship between the cousins was on different paths of how they're going to do things. Black Panther want to work things out and discuss it. He didn't want to hear it and didn't know that they was going to the same endpoint. 2 different roads, but end up to the same to help his people.
Yes.
He was going, and that's why I've said I seen one Malcolm X, if you know your Black history, and Martin Luther King.
Yeah.
One peaceful, one world take. Because if you watch Malcolm X, anybody can sit. Martin Luther King want people to sit. Malcolm X said a drunk person could sit. A dummy can sit. A poor person can sit. A rich people. So that's just one of clips of his movie. It may not be verbatim of what he actually said in that speech, but y'all get the idea. In life itself, it challenges you. And all through this movie, they both got 2 different mindsets and was very challenging. You'll see him, his cousin that came there. He always brought the people, the outside, or what they going. Even when he came there, if you understand leadership, how the structures are set, you will see the king wasn't going to ask the question, who are you? Who you are. He said, I know who you are is. Yep. That's why I don't kill you.
Right.
Don't kill
Yep.
That relationship, if they could have sit down, because his insight of how the outside world operate with his, I want to say his love, heart aspect, sitting down and work everything together and made a better plan. And just because one had a narrow, a more, it's not a narrow mind. It's just focus on what he had and not let anything come in to change his mind and get his, to his goal. Even that Black Panther want to say show empathy in the relationship towards him. He understand what he went through and everything and trying to still make it better all the way to the end. And even his end point of death. Let me die because I don't want to be in bondage. They know what death was.
Yeah.
So he believed, if he got a chance, as our Lord said, communication is very important. And if they could sit down and communicate with each other, because he made the difference of the both of their father got killed. One got killed by the colonizer, and one got killed by his own. And in today's world, in a relationship with us today, we need to stop being a product. We are already a product, an economical product. And when we are economical product and we killing each other, and people is making money off us, off of our backs, it's a shame that we cannot sit down and communicate. And in the communication, we are fighting each other on the street for nothing and doesn't realize we even are fighting about. My internet is messing up. It's better now.
It's better. Go ahead.
Okay. Even that we don't even remember what we fighting about. These people were fighting for something, but they lacked the communication of it. And just as to the day, each one of us have our own gender as the counselor. The counselor does. And we need to look at that of coming together. Even that we in a nation, a country, in a world that wasn't created for us to be in. That we is not of this world, but we live in this world. And we must come together under one house to be established a foundation for our children's future. To bring an understanding of where we come from. Even that we may be on one path, but each one of these paths leads to the same point, togetherness. It's now in your hands, sis, of the history of us. Good end. I'm landing my plane.
I'm sorry. Okay. Yeah, because I saw that you were freezing up. Am I okay?
Yes.
Okay. All right. So here I am. As I always say, you got to know where you came from in order to know where you're going. So with that being said, let's just think about this movie for a minute. There's a lot of moving pieces. There's a lot of things that were said and not to be said. But the thing that gets to me is like when I put in time, get off our backs, get off my back. You know, in relationship, we have to get off each other's backs, you know, in order to understand, you know, where the other person is coming from. The one thing that I do understand with instruction, revelation, things, sometimes we have to make a decision. Are we going to be angry about it or are we going to be happy? We can't let things or what people say dictate that. We have to be the deciding factor. With that being said, You know, we talk about the history of everything that Black people do, everything that we've done. It was, I don't care what nobody say. This whole United States was built off the backs of us. We, even as slaves, if we weren't in the cotton fields, we were in factories, or we were constructing something, or we was in the minings. We were somewhere everywhere. We worked beside people that was getting paid to work, but we had to work for free. Even if y'all don't know, do y'all know that New York almost conceded and was going to fight with the South because they were making so much money from, you know, participating in the fact with slaves and everything and getting the cotton and everything up there? That's because we were a commodity. We was an industry. We were economically sound for them because of the production that we were able to produce. And it even goes a little deeper than that. We tend to measure this us. But if you look at it, I'm saying we, them, they tend to measure an advancement of abilities and tools to communicate with others, and it transport us from one place to another. Because they were always able, if he was making good babies, strong backs, then I could take him and breed him with this one over here, another plantation, and so on and so on. We will always move from place to place. But in this Western culture, it was developed through from the lens of success in war. They came on this land in war to take. What are they doing now? It's always some war going on to take something that does not belong to them. And they really believe, because of this, that this is the way it is. But think about it. They always are at war with us. Go ahead, bro.
Okay, but you know, in the movie itself, he made Claude the colonizer said this: "Y'all don't deserve it.
Yeah.
Y'all savages."
He said we were savages, but what was he doing? Making his way to get there to get the vibranium, because he knew he had a weapon of mass destruction on his arm, and he was willing to do whatever to take it because he thought so little. And this is how they think now. If y'all don't see that in the video. They telling you what they really think. They really think this, and we so blind to the fact because they use their words in such a way that we're the ones that's blind. You know, and we okay with it. They can slap you in public and it's okay. They can do whatever to you, but it's okay because you deemed it. Just like they came in Oklahoma and all these other places and destroyed. They took it to war. It was a fight. They killed people because they were doing so much better, but they the savage. I'm minding my own business, got my own business going on, and you came and you wrecked everything. You killed people. You lynched people. You raped the women. But we the savages.
Yep.
This is what you do.
Right.
And even with technology, it's still at war. Think about it. We create a song.
Yeah.
We get it, we get the song trademark, go in production, because the hook was all right and everybody doing a little jig to the hook. But then these social media platforms quiet your voice and give it to somebody white. Paleness is the best thing ever. Let them tell it. Or they let some Asian take a song that had 1 million hits, 1 million likes, and they silence the voice. You do a dance, and and then the black people are trying to take a young lady that did dance and bring her out to light and supersede everything. But the little white girl who stole the dance and couldn't do the dance, she gets to be on all these other platforms and goes to the Grammys or whatever that other one is. It's something for people. But she gets to go do that so she can get all the accolades for something that she didn't even create. That's stealing. But it's the American way. But let us try it and see where we go. Let us try it. If it's the American way, we try it. You know, but we thieves, we robbers, and we all of this, but they've been doing it all. They still do it. You know,
Right.
like I was saying, in other words, your values would always tell you a lot about culture. Your values. I've never seen anyone that's in my circle have values that were less than anything. Always been a cut above. You know, and it speaks a lot when you willing to, just like they tell women that you shouldn't have the ideals that you should dummy down. So we do that enough when we go to the job. We do it enough when we at the store and they watching us and they treat us bad. They don't want us there, but they want the money. We do that enough of the dummy down when we go out and we getting on the break line and we let them. We do it enough. We do it enough. So what happened to standing up? Why we fall back? They showing you gonna fall back. And even in the movie, it was the same way. That man was not gonna fall back. And that the guy before he went to Wakanda, he didn't fall back either. Dude.
Right.
And then told him I brought y'all who y'all was looking for. He knew that they were looking for him. Right. And he brought him dead. Brought him.
Yeah.
Even though he had other agendas, but that was his way in the door. He brought that joker back dead. Right. Because he was the savage. He was a thief. He was willing to do anything and everything to destroy Wakanda and take and not belong to him. And that's what even today they do that. We rarely measure how advanced we are. When you look at the inventions and everything that we do, look at his sister, that brilliant mind chick, and how she was able to create and make. And I thought that was the funniest thing when she made that suit and told him to hit it, and he hit it, and then he hit it again. And the girl was on. She was on fleek. She was the doggone thing. She put her hands on. That's what we do. We do that even today. Whatever we put our hands on, we got to give. Something that they don't. When you look at slave owners and how many patents they tried, some of them was able to get it through and some of them was not because a black person did it. We did this. We did this. Regardless of what people think, we did this. Mm-hmm. And this is how life was sustained of us. I'm going to say it again. We are $1 trillion business to them. Production of money for them. If we was to take our trillions and come together, even though we're going to lose some people because they're going to be ready to fight, but if we got to be willing to fight for what we want. And if we did that and created our own here and took care of our own here, just like the Asians do, just like the white people do, just like the Jews do, just like every other race do when they're here in America, they take care of their own, except for us. And if we decide to take care of our own, how fast you think they're going to be bombing us? How fast you think they're going to be trying to get rid of the ones who's willing? Because, you know, we do have some scary people that's like, let's just go with the flow. That flow ain't working for me. We could be doing greater. It's been proved that we are the superior. We just don't know it yet. Some of y'all don't know. I know. Because I know who created me. I know. We are the superior race. We just don't know that.
Yes, we are.
You can't dumb it down that. You just can't dumb it down that. So even with all that being said, you have to get an understanding of that we now that we're understanding. Because even with slavery and the things that change, I can go up the things I learned about the different concepts of slaves and the now they had involved in this because of enslaved people. But at the same token, if we don't get an understanding of all of this in order to get where we're going, and then learn to take action in this. We're going to still remain slaves. If you don't think you're not a slave, let me see you.
Pause
Let
for
me see you go to work tomorrow. I mean, not go to. Okay.
I think you caught up now. Yeah, I can hear you. You were breaking up.
Okay.
That's why I asked you to pause.
Oh, okay. Well, that's it.
Now you better.
That's all I had to say. I just think that we should really looking at this from what it is, because sometimes sustaining peace is just not enough. It's just not enough
Right.
with the way things are. We have to use our voices and we have to have a plan of action. Every time that somebody do something, whether it's McDonald's or whoever, it could be a fact, we need to shut them down. We need to shut them down. Hidden pockets is the best way to shut somebody up. And then guess what they're gonna do? They're gonna change. They're gonna start looking at their policies and procedures. Then they're gonna do what they have to do in order to get you back. That's if you decide to go back. I said don't go back and do what you got to do yourself. The creators, we can do. They stole recipes. Who was that? KFC. He ain't create that. He stole it. Jack Daniels? No, he didn't make that. He stole that. Nearest did it. So my thing, and you know what? And come to think of it, Nearest tastes better than the Jack. So just let y'all know. But anyway, that's it. It's a long story that's doomed to repeat itself until we get it right.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So y'all, what's your 2 cents? Who first?
I can go. I go first. My 2 cents is the move was to see. Everybody needs to see Black Panther. Covers the eye waking and is show you how to use one, how they put their stuff together and put things in order. Communication was also I leave everybody with this here. Be wise as a serpent. That's go to our people. We need to be united, not apart. Become as one, like all the other nations become as one. We can do it. We're going to do it.
Yeah, exactly. Logan?
In life challenge, sometimes someone need to remind us of who we are. That's taken from the first scene, fight scene. Even that Kim Moore story relies on mental levels. I'm not going to make him a villain. I refuse to. It's due to the racial injustice that is coming out in America and how he was raised versus how T'Challa was raised up. He had no throne. He had to forge his way the best way he knew how, and to present himself to be with honor and respect. When he finally got things that he could consider, his method was behind and was not valid in the way of them. Mm-hmm. You talking about two people's lost? A lot of things we have lost our ways of how we do things. Both nature, one lost on the outside people, and we have lost our ways of our tradition, and slowly setting those apart. Some tradition is out of time, and some are still one. And one of the traditions that is slowly going away with the youth and the young is respect for each other. We got to learn how to respect and learn how to communication. Regardless if your woman have a strong man or you have a strong man, or in power or hold power. You must respect. So if respect is no longer served, it's time to leave and respect that. Mm-hmm. That is my 5 cents.
Your 5 cents. Okay. Okay. Since he said something about the youth, this is what we're going to do next week. It was requested to talk about the Gen Z kids. We call them kids. They from the ages of, well, no, we ain't going to just say ages. They're from 1990s up until the 2000 levels. You know, it's called Lost in Space is the title of this. Is there any hope?
Did I name
that? I mean, I don't know. Is there any hope? You know, why? I'm giving little teasers here so y'all understand where we're going with this. What is the beneficial of privilege? No, there's a such thing as white privilege, but these Gen Z gotta call it Gen Z privilege. You know, they think that they're entitled to everything. So we're gonna discuss this and talk about this, make it light, make it fun, you know, and if any of you Gen Zs want to get out here and get on here, hey, you because you know that's old heads is my brother likely said, because the age is just a number for me. But I'm gonna make sure that we get a good discussion. As I always said, we're here on 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And also, everyone, coming soon, I will be posting it out. If you know of a small business or you know someone with a small business, we will be accepting by email. I'm going to post it on my page and I'm going to post it in my other pages. We're going to be accepting your commercials. We're going to be accepting your anything that you decide. If you want to start giving away some little free gifts we'll talk about it. We'll talk about it, how we can bartend the system to get these reviews and everything and get these posted. This is a part of what we're doing. So if you want to DM me, if you know my number, call me. So we can discuss this starting next week. We will be start putting everything in the talks for it. Sponsorships are welcome. Let me say it again. Sponsorships are welcome. And we can discuss that. So by the terms and everything. And everybody, I want you to go out there, like, share, and follow. If you're not following me, you can follow me on Sonya Perspective. You can follow me at Let's Bring It to the Table. You can even follow me at an Exquisite Taste Shopping and Travel Network. You can we have a group. It's called Let's Bring It to the Table. We're a group for enticement, which is Enticement Network. And we have some good people out there that have some nice products that they be selling all the time. So go have a look. We building a network of Black people doing what they do. It's not an easy task, but it's an enjoyable task. I love it. So try to hit those. We're going to start having some fun, and I think we're going to have a giveaway soon. So I need you to get ready. You ain't got to do it now, but you're going to have to do it soon. I'll be announcing what the giveaway is, but it's all about following, liking, and sharing. But following, getting people to follow is another thing. So yeah, we're going to be doing all that. So until next time, as I always say, and I enjoy you all, I wouldn't trade y'all nothing. I love you, so ain't nothing you can do about that either. Love yourself enough to leave the table with no longer being served. I bid you all good night.
Good night.